Hey y'all. Hi friends. Hi fools. Hi loves. Hi beloveds. How are you today? And how is your thing and your alchemy and your practice and your play and your healing and your revealing and your becoming? How is all that for you? How does it feel? Yeah, there's a lot going on. So yeah, this transition time. This time for rebirth and renewal and reclamation and reconciliation, transition, transformation, transmutation, resurrection, dying to the old and being born into the new, being born through the whole new true. And so, yeah, since my last video a couple days ago, working on my reconciliation and friendship. Friendship with myself, friendship with my friends, honoring that friendship, and that ship, that relationship, that ship for, the container of that and all that holds, all that prosperity and relationship, yeah, all that the relationship can hold and can become. And so, yeah, there was a hawk that came and visited me after I did my video. The day after, yeah, she came to see me in the morning and then later in the afternoon, and it was really cool. I put a video up. It was only 3 minutes long, but I just sat with her and watched her and listened, while she stayed and offered me, company and messages. And so that was really cool, just because she is so beautiful to me, and she's always been one of my favorite animals. Like, always brings out the wonder and the awe and the fascination, and like that magic in me. Like, every time I see a hawk circling or doing figure eights, and especially like in pairs, just seeing like the patterns that they create, it just always puts me in that space, like up in the air too, like, and it just, that magical child awakens in me, like just total awe, wonder, and discovery, and just imagining, like, just her beauty, just, all that beauty encompasses and enfolds and holds and frees. And so hawk medicine is so beautiful to me. And so, I knew she had some messages for me too, and so I went back to look at a few things and look inside as well. And so I looked at my medicine cards book again to see, like, both the little descriptions or the card readings in there, and then I also looked at my animal speak book to read up on hawk again. And this little scavenger fly wants to keep landing on my nose. So, there's a lot of things in there that I've forgotten. I got to remember about hawk. And one of those things was to help me to observe, because when hawk medicine people are out of balance, their lenses are overly colored or filtered through the lenses of their emotions. And that's like, I can totally own that and claim that, like, where I feel like, all of us have been pretty emotional, and there's a lot of good reasons for that. But especially just with the constant kind of triggerings and whatnot, and of those inner conflicts, what's asking for attention and integration and balance and inclusion and reconciliation. And so kind of, reminded me that to watch and observe rather than to be reactive to, because it has been like a dance in certain ways where, just back and forth, like the pendulum swing. Like, it's just seems like it's a little more extreme or a little more intense, but in other ways, it seems a little easier too. So that's paradox. Yeah, it's just like remembering remembering, yeah, that it is a dance, and just to swing and be, yeah, with that rhythm and be receptive and open and respond. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of good in that. And yeah, also, that same day, scarab or beetle came up for me, like in so many different ways, like in so many cool ways. She showed up in certain ways, showing me different images. And also, like, I happened to like come across like a video about ancient Egypt and gods and goddesses and alchemy, and of course that's my thing, that's my jam right there. And there is a author and a medium who told a story about the scarab and about like the beetle and about one of the pyramids where there's a scarab beetle that like kind of unlocks the heart and expands the consciousness and all that. And it was like really cool to hear that. Just the magic of a humble little creature, of one of like God's most humble creatures. How such beauty and such wisdom like is held within that being that's becoming while it's creating what it's being. Yeah. And it was just like so, oh my gosh, just so profound, like so profound. And it did teach me too, like, because I've been asking, how do I allow the bullshit instead of getting so mad at the bullshit? Like, how do I reconcile some of that bullshit? And so the beetle came to tell me about bullshit, about the fertileness and the gift of bullshit. And so I want to tell a story about the beetle and the scarab and resurrection, and how the shit is the container too for light and life to be reborn. So that really does help me put it in perspective in a way that I wasn't able to before. And so I'll just read you a little bit about what Ted and Andrews says about the beetle, and then I will read from my journal what I wrote about scarab. So beetle. So keynote is resurrection. The beetle is the most varied of all insects. There may be as many as 280,000 kinds of beetles. To put this into perspective, the number of vertebrate animals, including fish, reptiles, amphibians, birds, and mammals, may be around 44,000. So there's 280,000 kinds of beetles. In Egypt, the scarab or sacred beetle had great significance. The beetle would take a piece of ox dung or cow dung and shape it into a ball by rolling it from east to west. The eggs were laid within this and then buried. After about a month, or the 28-day cycle, like this goes along with the cycles of the moon, growing cycles. After about a month, the beetle would dig it up and push it into the water, and the young would emerge. Because of its yeast, you little asshole, little fly, scavenger, little friend who wants to challenge me. The beetle would dig it up and push it into the water, and the young would emerge. Because of its east to west rolling, it came to be associated with the sun and its movement across the sky. The scarab thus came to be a symbol for solar deities and for new life. As with many insects, the beetle goes through a tremendous metamorphosis from the grub stage to the winged. Because of this, it is associated with resurrection and change. In its winged stage, the front set of wings are thickened into hard covers which fold and protect the soft underside. This may indicate for those with this totem a need to be more protective, or possibly that you are too closed off. If the beetle has shown up in your life, examine the need for metamorphosis. Are you in the process? If so, what stage? Do you need a change? Are you needing new sunshine? Is it time to resurrect some aspect of your life? Is it time to leave the past behind? The beetle can show you how to do this with the greatest success. And so, yeah. So that is all in line and aligned with what I'm intending and what I'm choosing, what I'm creating, what I'm becoming, you know. So, yeah, letting go of the past and, going through metamorphosis and through changes and, yeah, giving birth to the new, being born into the new. So, yeah. Definitely, there are some things that I am ready to let go of, for sure. And part of that is like needing people to wake up or that haven't woke up yet and ready to let that go because, yeah, just tired of being in resistance of what is. Like, and what I really want, yeah, is to awaken from within, And so, yeah, I'm tired of being mad and frustrated with others who don't want to see. Like, I'm ready just to let them be and let them go and set them free so they can choose their own thing. But of course, like, that's never really been my issue, like, letting people choose their own things. But really, like, what it is, what it's been for me, like, the most, I guess, frustrating thing is that the group think mentality and the force feeding, like, that everybody has to have, like, the same belief or else, like, you're wrong or you're whatever, you're undesirable, you're, I don't know, you're nutty, you're conspiracy theorist, you're delusional, you're unstable, you're whatever, because you don't go along with the mainstream narrative, the story that's being told, and the indoctrination. Like, but everyone else has to go along with that, and it's for our own good, the greater good. And I'm like, fuck that, Like, fuck that, because it isn't. And that's what's frustrating about it, is that, like, they're Bible thumpers almost with their scientism dogma and forcing everyone to agree to medical fascism because that's so fantastic for our health, right? And the logic that's being used is all inverted. And yeah, it's really manipulative, and that's what, just doesn't sit well with me. So just having a hard time with that, and like having a hard time wondering why people would go along with that, or why they would buy into it, or why they would prop it up and invest in it, But yeah, there's a lot of reasons why, and there's, a lot of things we can speculate about, but like there's obvious reasons too. And a lot of those are like because of fear and like exploitation. So, like, remembering compassion and boundaries and like my own attention. Where's my own attention? Where's my focus? So, yeah, I've been a little less angry about things. Obviously, I still get frustrated every day because, yeah, it's just a time of transition, really. Like, and I get to thank the challenges and the things that help me grow. So that's the devil archetype too, challenging my bullshit, challenging bullshit, and it's like the opponent that helps me bring forth and through that which is in me. And so, like, it is like that fire under my butt, like, that really does push me and spark that fire from within me to help me choose what I want and what's valuable to me, what I want to grow and appreciate, what I want to support and sustain, and what I want to offer, contribute, and be. Serve, live, and free. So, So I wrote a couple things, and I'll just start where my journal is open. So it's kind of like a thank you, release, and a farewell, and I let you go and I set you free, and just because that's love is free, and love frees love to be. And so I really wanted you to be able and willing to wake up out of your sleep and the change they have placed on you. I really wanted to help you see where you have not been being true to you, but maybe you are. Maybe you are being true to you, or who you believe is really you. Who knows? Maybe the you that I believe I know isn't really you, but an image of you. Maybe who you believe me to be, or maybe who you believe I am, is not really true, but a false image too. And yes, I do still want to help wake you, but maybe I'll choose to awaken myself instead. One of my motives, I admit, was to help you see through all the bullshit stories, the lies, and the false values, virtues that they invert to control our perceptions, ideals, images. I'm not angry. Oh, I'm most angry with the psychological manipulation, the competition, superior comparison, the judgments, the execution. God on trial for all. So I forgive all, and I release all. Stay in your stories if you choose to stay small. Stay in your stories till you choose to let go. Rise and fall, ebb and flow, in and out, up and down, all around. Be the story, free the story, see the story, release the story. Renew, review, and birth a new story. The grand story of living, embodiment, being, becoming. So yeah, maybe it's true that I have my own jury on trial. And I'm expecting the illusion just to fall and fall away. But it gets to be all it is. And so I allow it to be all it is. Yeah. So yeah, that helps. Something that simple. And also, I have a little alchemy tool that I just decorated really quickly like a couple years ago and just made it for fun, just for the fun of it. It's my fuck it bucket. It's yield fuck it bucket. Fuck all that silly bullshit. And just chuck it in the fuck it bucket. So the fuck it bucket is a tool that I've used for a couple years, and there was a medicine song about the fuck it bucket. I was involved and I was participating in a group of amazing medicine people, healing people. I met them in like 2011, 2012. And on and off for a couple years, got to spend a lot of good times with them and experience like some healing plant medicines and some sacred dietas and diets with the plants. And yeah, that was like amazing period in my life, and with amazing connections. And it really did help me in further years, like with a good foundation of things that I had learned and healed, like within that phase and stage of my transformation. And so yeah, a lot of things like stuck with me since those years of sharing and learning and exchanging and receiving and giving and being part of that. So the fuck it bucket, yeah. So I did realize, like I've done all I can really with this. Like I've worked with it so much the last couple months, and now like I definitely am like actually starting to build with it and do something with it. And I have been like all this time as well, but now like yeah, I'm willing to like release the rest of it. So yeah, just ask God to take it from me or for me, and know that it's already healed and it's already released. It's already well. So it's all well. All is well within the well. And so yeah, I'll just pay attention to when my feelings come up and bring in that observer and that hawk medicine, to observe and survey, oversee, and yeah, look at things from that wider perspective that encompasses all things, the unity consciousness, and it allows all to be as it is. Yeah, just as. And so, what's really asking me for inclusivity is like that sense of responsibility and that allowance for things to be a mess, for them to be messy right now. And it's okay, I don't like it. I don't like certain things about it, and that's okay. Like, I can allow myself not to like it, but I can allow it to be, so that we can work with it. We can work with what is and build with it. So, yeah, that's more empowering. So, and just, yeah, take it a day at a time, a moment at a time, a breath at a time, one step at a time. So I was working out a couple of other things, feeling indignation and frustration with some shortcomings, unclaimed aspects, bullshit stories, projections, and false reality, lame excuses, blame, self-importance, self-pity, victim judgmentality, and unaccountability, shadow dumping, inability to respond and see, inability to take accountability, and own our mistakes, limitations, and strengths. Responsibility for showing up, following through with agreements, words, relationships, codes, exchange, value, reciprocity, and loyalty. So, let go of all others and focus on me and we, and who all I get to be and free and receive, offer, contribute, share, honor, serve, grow, attend, cultivate, develop, and seed. So yeah, just frustrated with the silliness of not taking responsibility to fully own the self and all that means. So where am I not owning me or honoring me fully? Is that the need for perfection or idolatry, expectations or idealism, pedestal fantasies, or a need to see order and integrity, to stand up, to have stand-up values, to expect my elders, mentors, teachers, peers, family, and relations to embody that? Is that too much to ask? Are my standards too high? Is it unrealistic? Or am I just separating the wheat from the tares and the corn from the chaff? What is it really? This frustration that holds me back from moving forward and on, what is love asking me? Allowance for imperfection, acceptance for limitations, for blind spots, wounded aspects. Refine your discernment, use strategy and my own inspired and follied actions, through my own inspired and follied actions. What can I claim, integrate, and be accountable for and own for me and we? My own agreements and integrity, my willingness to follow through and own my own impeccability and my own right to be whole, full, and perfectly perfect, human, divine, all things. So, it's not up to me to understand or approve or condemn, judge, punish, God on trial, judge, jury, victim, executioner. But in one way, I wish we all could admit our mistakes and own our own accountability, honor our words and agreements, or be more honest and true with our words and promises, interactions, and our energy. So, there's some archetypes that are coming up and things that are related. So like Mother Superior has been coming up a lot. The prude and the nitpicker and the I'm better than you kind of a thing, attitude. So, Mother Superior, better than you, tude, of the prude, the inverted star of it's all about you, self-absorbed, all is you, lost in a false image, a distorted reflection of a false projection, artificial tunnel vision, artificial tune, histories, horror stories, comparison, competition, jealousy, lack, envy, war and disease, wounds of the collective feminine, fallen patriarchy, karmic patterns of take, take, take based on lack and scarcity, a false belief of unworthiness to be full, free, and complete. So is it too much to ask for accountability and impeccability? No, it's really not. But there is free will and cooperation and choice, boundaries, lessons, challenges, and action to put into practice. Play around with it, play back. So, when we are untrue or false, are we still ourselves? Or are we playing at being something else? Playing being, false image, ego self. Maybe I can forgive me and we. I am willing, I am free. I am right to be all I am for me and we. All I am, let me be. All I get to be for thee, she, we, and me. All things, all love for us to be. Judgments, opinions, and assumptions don't mean anything to the soul and to the truth. Step aside or sidestep, LOL. Override, pass over. Don't need to agree or take it in. No thanks. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Focus and open, softening, expanding, allowing all things to be, being in the world, but not of it. And that was an interesting thing because that was coming up a couple times for me, like last week. And then, like, after I wrote that in my journal, I got onto Facebook and there's a poem in my newsfeed. It was about the pendulum swinging, and their last words were, be in the world and not of it. And that is like, yeah, a little wink. So that's pretty cool. Synchronicity. So review, renew, recalibrate, celebrate, participate, communicate, cooperate, co-create, and play. Yay, friendship and agreements, honoring the other, appreciation, valuing true prosperity and exchange, honoring the relationship and the integrity of the whole one all. So where do I get to be accountable to me and we? Showing up for my relationships, agreements, garden, home, self, and community. Yes, I'm willing. So I wrote down a few things that I wanted to follow through with. And some of those are like projects I'm working on and things. And I have like had some awesome opportunities and gifts and projects, creative projects to work on. And yeah, I've been enjoying all that. Yeah, been doing stuff like my own art and yeah, just enjoying creating that and doing new things with that and going back to old unfinished projects as well, wanting to pick those back up and collaborating to do some art fundraising for some charities that are important to me, and like, yeah, starting to get working and going on that, prepared for that. And yeah, different classes and different groups I've been meeting with to network and support and to collaborate and cooperate with like-minded others who want to create and participate and honor all things and all life. Respect for all life is the foundation. So like creating those new whole-based systems that include all things. And so freedom, goodness, truth, and beauty, you know, that's all, that's love for me. Yeah, that's what I value and appreciate. So I want to increase that value through that appreciation and through that gratitude. So I have been practicing gratitude a lot more lately too, and that feels really good and really true. And so I have this little story, but maybe I will, I'll finish this little part here because it relates to the Mother Superior. Judgments and anger, frustration, and the victim. Oh yeah, I realized that what I was so angry about, like one little theme that I was angry about and frustrated was just like the sense of entitlement that we're owed something, or that someone owes us something, you know? Someone owes us something and we owe something, like forever we're in debt. Like because we're not worthy and all of that. And so it creates like this false sense of entitlement, like through the victimizer's eyes, you know? And that's what was most like turning me off and like repelling and, yeah, just turning me off, you know, shutting me down. It was, yeah, it made me really sick, actually. Like the victim sense of entitlement, you know? And so I was, yeah, kind of looking at that and like, where do I feel like I'm entitled to, you know? And like, yeah, where do I feel like someone owes me something or is in debt, or like, why do I feel, is there any, yeah, reason why that feels kind of like the martyr too, you know? So just kind of looking into that. Judgments and anger, frustration at the victim and her entitlement issues and the haughty attitude. LOL, the judge victim. Seeing that in a few different ways outside of myself as the judge, victim, martyr, miser, tyrant, savior, the jury, judge, and executioner, God on trial. So is that really all it's about? The mother superior attitude, don't talk to me, it's too much for me, I'm so special, I can't or don't need to reciprocate or participate in this relationship, fuck it. So don't let it go and set it free and let her be, let her leave, oh God, please. Or make room for her to be. Free, full, nothing, everything. Free to live, free to choose, free to be. So yeah, I would really prefer the ghosts who don't want to show up in relationship move on and move ahead already, and because they've already jumped ship. So fare thee well and go off someplace else. So be absent in a physical sense as well. Yeah, if you're already checked out emotionally, it's like, what part of you is here still, you know? So I don't know. It's like, yeah, kind of looking at those things where there is definite abandonment and rejection and that sort of thing. Those sort of themes happening in that orphan archetype. So it's not personal. Mother superior, self-importance, self-pity, indulgence, the entitled victim, judge, tyrant, martyr, miser. So just observe and allow. So yeah, I was like, the day Hawk came and visited, helped remind me, allowance, receptivity, compassion, pause, breathe, observation, check emotions and witness, survey and listen. So, yeah. Ooh, little dick. All right. Trying to find my scarab. There we go. Oh yes. So the scarab, oh my gosh, it's so funny how it all relates to. And yeah, how she was teaching me, like, that she uses that dung and that bullshit to make a home and a little place for her young to be born. And that is too cool, really. So like, the things that I learned from this one video that I was watching, this beautiful story that I got to listen to, like, and I just took like a quick few notes, and I'll just read it to you verbatim, like what I have. Scarab, alchemy, transformation, rebirth, the dung beetle, cow pie as fertilizer, and the container, LOL. And and there was a mythic astrology book that I picked up, and it was so funny. Like, I flipped open to this one part in the book where it was about Cancer, and it was talking about the crab, but it also said that in other zodiacal systems, or in ancient ones, it wasn't the crab, it was the scarab that was the symbol, glyph, or for cancer. And so I thought that was interesting too. And it's like to create, and it's the essence of being, and it's being, becoming, the light to create and to become. In the beginning, I became the becoming being what I created. I was like, whoa. In the beginning, I became the becoming being what I created. I was like, holy wow. So beingness and becoming, story of God, light, came into being through being what I created. So, the scarab is the message today. Mirror heart, raw activations, and home. So, scavengers and trance and transitions and pyramid of, what does that say? Of Unis. Oh, every 7 years. Oh, that was the story in that. Yeah, that was the story. There's like the sun hits a certain point in that pyramid, and it like goes directly onto the scarab where it's supposed to activate something in the heart and the crown and everything. And it's like ascension and descension and rebirth cycles, and that's pretty cool. So I know there's something else about about the scarab that relates. And what I was getting about like certain things that day, the crab and the moon, so the cycles, the 28-day cycles, the pincers, loyalty, because there was a story about how the crab was loyal to Hera, the wife of Zeus. She's like the goddess of the family and protecting the family and all of that, and marriage. And even though she was like super, super jealous and competitive with like all the other ladies and the other children that weren't hers and stuff, and it's kind of funny. But she sent a crab to attack Hercules. I think it was Hercules when he was slaying the Gorgon, and the crab did her bidding and grabbed onto his ankle and wouldn't let go. And even though Hercules defeated the Gorgon, Hera put the crab up in the stars as an honor for the crab's loyalty. And so I thought that was interesting. So yeah, the crab and the scarab associated with the moon and also the sun. And then like the crab can be also relate to prejudice. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Like loyalty and prejudice. So yeah. The hawk, the sun, talons, sight, and speech. And that was one thing that I had forgotten about hawk, was that be careful, be mindful, be aware of my speech, because hawk is one of those powerful predators that really can tear the head right off of a snake. And like the power of the word is so strong, like that we can literally tear off heads with the words that we speak. And so like just to be mindful about that and know that that's, it can be a weapon, and to use it wisely, like to direct it with impeccability and accountability. And yeah, so be mindful and cautious and aware, like, yeah. And so I appreciated that message and that awareness to remember to use care. And so, and just like, yeah, observe before tearing that head off, or before speaking and realizing that an injury can be done, you know, and it's not always easy to undo it or have it be undone. So yeah. So the scarab, the dung and the darkness and the light, the sun and the moon. The white wizard came up for me, Merlin and Gandalf, and a high priestess, wise old man, the child, the fool, Nut and Jeb, like the sky and the earth, the empress and the emperor, the Horus and the falcon of Ra, yeah. Lionsgate portals, Hathor, Isis, Nephthys, Set, Sekhmet, Osiris, Athena, Mat and Mercury, Hermes, Kemet and alchemy, that's ancient Egypt, Strength, Chariot, Hermit, Wise One, Dark Goddess, and the Black Madonna. Oh yeah, I was also contemplating appreciation and adoration rather than dishonoring and possession. You know, honoring friendships, honoring free will, honoring choice, honoring freedom. And so that came up in a way as well. Choosing appreciation rather than possession. Yeah. So just having different dreams and like thinking about possessions too, and like navigating through a full house of things and collections or possessions that are taking up space. Is it just a symbol of a lifetime of the gatherings of things? It seems there is always more than we need or can really make use of. Distractions and weight to carry. We have an opportunity to move, but nothing is boxed up or ready to be moved or transported, not the proper order of sequence, it seems. So logically, then it would seem impossible to accomplish this feat because it's not in the proper order and the proper sequence. Yeah. So we can't jump ahead sometimes. You got to be here on the ground now and work with what is now. Yeah. So that's what that dream is kind of telling me, to go through certain things, to move into, moving through. So, sorting out and collecting laundry. Is it my dirty laundry? And then, this is weird. And then lifting up stuff like clothes and old rugs from the floor, and I see there's a dead mouse, a skeleton with hair under the rug. Was it swept under the rug? So what's been swept under the rug? Yeah. What needs attention and is asking for love and release. Honoring the whole of integrity and what has been offered and given. Been a part of the journey but needs or gets to be recycled, given back, forgiven, or reclaimed, buried, or released. Look at skeletons. So, LOL and neglected, covered, or veiled things. Seems like I was talking with an old friend in the dream about something and also debating and considering what way to move through next. The sequence, order, and intent. It seems like I need help, and I realize that it's not solely my job to clean and move this mess. It does belong to all of us, so don't pretend to be Atlas and carry the whole weight up, to carry the whole world on my shoulders. That does not serve me or we, and fully or responsibly to carry. It's not all mine anyway. So let it be. Let the universe, God, love, life, help me, and we let go and let God. So just be here, enjoy, be open, receptive, and attend to what is asking for inclusion, forgiveness, allowance, and release. Let go of expectations, ideals, shoulds, and pedestal perfection or false images of how it all needs or has to be. So anyway, good messages for me. I'm looking at the suffering that comes through, like that sense of the victim's entitlement and the sacrificial lamb programming and the scapegoating, blame. And both are eaten by the wolves who come dressed as shepherds or sheep. And it's just like, look at your own shit, claim and own your own shit, and stop blaming the scapegoat. You're not a fucking victim of circumstance, only a fool with a false image. Surrender and sacrifice the image to embody this whole truth of unity vision, wholeness, limitations, strengths, weaknesses, potential, and all gifts to grow, play, and refine or create with. Let others have theirs too, but don't be afraid to call it out when I am nudged to do so. And so, this, like, yeah, all that, just allowing it to be, and then, like, taking my responsibility. And so, yeah, big changes, metamorphosis, and transition. And I think this was yesterday, yeah. The archetypes at play for me, archetypes in action, were the fool, the devil, the trickster, the clown, the wise one, the boss, the queen, the gold crown, and the crown of thorns, and Mother Superior, and the wounded child, and the orphan, working on pride, vanity, self-righteousness, and the holier than thou attitude, and choosing compassion, patience, allowance, empathy, forgiveness, and understanding. I am willing. But yeah, there was one more little thing. Oh, the imposter fraud, also coming up to be seen again. That was when in April, when I first started my alchemy videos, I started first understanding what the fraud and the imposter were asking of me to be included. And yeah, now, like, that's kind of come full circle. They're coming all around again now. So yeah, to be looked at now. And so it's the imposter, fraud, the usurper, the tyrant, and the saboteur. Yeah. The fiend, the liar, the charlatan, the devil, the challenger, the adversary, the Nemean lion, the crown of thorns, to pierce the heart crown, bringing the light down, to embody strength, spirit, soul, so many possibilities, prosperity, alchemy, all here, one love now. So bringing forth that which is in you to save you, liberate you, sharing the well from the grail, the fullness, the well, Bridget's well, remembering, embodying, sharing, forgiving, love and receiving, creating, celebrating, letting go, feeling free, forgiven, all now. Let it all be. All she is, all I am, all we are, all thou art, all we will be. So, yeah. And then my animal totems that helped me this week. Yeah. Hawk and temperance. Got a reminder to look at temperance again, because hawk corresponds to 14 temperance. So I'm gonna do that. Vision and observation, yeah. And awareness, hawk. So like, yeah, reminding me that it's okay, like, to be emotional and stuff. Just observe what's happening, you know, before reacting. And snake medicine, snake, the poison and transmutation and shedding the old skin. Turtle, slowing down and presence and being home within myself. And peacock and phoenix, vanity, can be vanity, but laughter and humility and resurrection. Porcupine, playfulness and trust and friendship. Butterfly and scarab in transition, transformation, creation in stages, humble beginnings, resurrection, bringing forth the light, new life from the cow pie, the BS that fertilizes and helps life to grow, be reborn through the darkness and the grime, which is the fertile void, the loving dark womb of the night. So the sun can rise, so new life can arise, so new light can rise, so new love is born and becomes, through being created, being born. Lizard's been helping me with the dreaming and the dream time. Dreaming, visionary, and receiving. And swan is also connected to dream time, grace and dream time, and helping me get grounded again. Badger came up again today to help remind me about like the aggressiveness and all of that, and healthy action and expression. And actually, like, I flipped open my book and I wasn't expecting that, but like, it was cool because it like reminded me, and I don't know if I really paid attention to the contrary meaning of badger before, but it really resonated today with what she had to share and give to me. And so I'll just read the contrary about badger, because I thought it was interesting and it totally like relates and stuff. So, badger. There was this, I don't know, man, it was like probably 15 years ago or so, like this psychedelic little video that someone made, you know, because we have a lot of time on our hands sometimes, or it seems that way. But man, just people are clever, and it was just the most hilarious thing with the most trippiest colors and just like animation, but it was like ridiculous because it was like badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom, badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. And it was hilarious. Like my little sister shared that with me, and so like every time badger comes up, I think about that song, and that thing just makes me laugh. So anything, anyway, it's random, but like, yeah, it's pretty hysterical. To me, yeah. So maybe, yeah, that's a message from the mushrooms too. So, contrary badger. Oops, here comes badger upside down and fuming. This could mean that you are being chewed out by someone else, or that you have expressed your anger in an unhealthy way. If this applies to you, remember that all anger stems from anger toward the self. It's an anger of helplessness that is misdirected toward others. If you are angry at a coworker for telling the boss that you are looking for another job, then you are really angry at yourself for not keeping your own secret. If you are angry at your children for disobeying, it's usually anger that stems from fear for the children's well-being. Yeah, in a way, that's what it is about. Like, it's not really my children, but God's children, you know? So, is it usually anger that stems from fear for children's well-being? And this self-anger condition is usually present when you have silly accidents, falls, cuts, and scrapes, or when you find yourself bumping into furniture. Badger in the contrary position can issue in a time of reflection on what you feel helpless about. Is it your lack of aggressiveness or initiative? Is it your fear of being blasted or belittled if you present a new idea? Maybe it is time when you need to get in touch with your own jealousy or envy of others who are willing to put themselves on top through hard work. In the reverse, Badger teaches you the pitfalls of shyness and insecurity, as well as of misused or vicious aggression. So, yeah, I've been definitely trying to balance between that, because it was always my habit to kind of just be a people pleaser and just, oh yeah, it's fine, just accommodate things. And so on the other side of the spectrum, it's like how, yeah, to put my foot down without overstepping my bounds, you know, like, or overstepping someone else's boundaries. So it's a little bit of a dance and kind of learning about that too. Like, not that I necessarily would step on anyone's toes, but like, in like a face-to-face interaction, of course, yeah, but like in certain ways, sometimes like our ways of communicating online and stuff, maybe there's something to see there, you know. And also, yeah, like freaking belittlement or being belittled for having different ideas and views and perceptions about what is. And that is like, yeah, sometimes really frustrating and annoying. And so maybe I'll look at that a little bit. So go to your feelings. Maybe you just need to let off steam. If so, scream into a pillow and then punch it a few times. It will surely put Badger back into balance. Badger can be difficult medicine, and learning to use it properly is a rare gift. So if in another context, contrary, Badger could be calling you to use herbs and roots to heal your body. Badger reverse may also be putting you on notice to be aware of those areas of your life that need the input of someone else's aggressive creativity to spark your own. In any case, contrary, Badger speaks of a need for more aggressive action in life. No more inactivity can prevail without creating pain of some kind. So, like, it is like a message that it's time for action. Like, yes, there's time for dreaming, but it's a time for action. So, yeah. I'll ask for help with that integration. But yeah, I've definitely been showing up and engaging and choosing to be active. Yeah, this week, and just kind of juggling some things right now. It's all, yeah, it's all spinning in the air right now. But like, obviously, a lot of it I can see being manifested too in the next little while, or coming into being now. And so that's really cool to see, like how it just, wow. So, yeah, there was one more thing. I know there was one more thing. Let's see what wants to. come through. Well, maybe that was it for now. Yeah, and that's okay. I'll just allow. Yeah. I swear there was one more thing, but that's okay. We'll just save it for next time. Yeah. So, oh yes, there was. Yep. Okay, remembered. So strength. Number 8. And oh, it was really cool. Was went to a meeting last night with some awesome, like-minded, good, beautiful people, souls. And there was 8 of us. There was 4 women and 4 men, and that was too cool. I love that. The power of 8 and strength, and like the Lion's Gate. So August 13th today, and so this is like the peak of that Lion's Gate portal. So that's awesome. And so like 13 and death, 13. So, and the Emperor and the Empress too. Yes. So yeah, I read this the other day. I flipped open. Just thought I would share it a little bit with you because it's pretty cool about strength. So just as the Chariot represents the outer manifestation of power and drive, the Strength card symbolizes the inner forces that help carry us forward throughout life. From the outset, we learn that life will be filled with difficulties. Experience quickly teaches us that we must develop an inner strength if we are to persevere and enjoy life. It's also what helps define our personalities, distinguishing a strong person from a weak person. With this inner strength, we are able to face up to the questions in our lives, to cope with the changes, the positives and the negatives. Strength is the belief we have in ourselves, a different kind of self-confidence than what the Chariot driver exudes. His is raw courage and might. This is the strength of wisdom and belief, the strength that comes from learning about ourselves and learning to trust ourselves. The more we believe in ourselves and our abilities, the more barriers will fall. A strong person also keeps his emotions in balance or, in the extreme, in check. Inner strength can be a calming influence. Think of the archetypal images of the strong, silent hero. You can read the strength in his face. He has proven himself to himself. He doesn't have to prove anything to anyone else. The same sense of serenity and strength combined is reflected on the Strength card. The woman silently strokes the lion. This is a representation that she has tamed the beast inside. Instead of fighting it, she draws from it. It is her source of inner power. Strength also implies wisdom. A strong person believes in life. He recognizes that there is a reason for everything, and from everything he can learn. He regards adversity and trouble as a test of will. He believes he can overcome. With this as his foundation, he can never lose. Even in defeat, he can feel proud that he stood his ground. By turning and running, we lose more than the battle. We lose confidence in ourselves. We lay the foundation for defeat. A strong person has hope. He faces life eagerly. I am ready, willing, and able. So, yeah, that was really just what I needed. And I've read it 100 times before, but, like, yeah, it's so great when it comes in again, when it's needed, you know? Just, wow. Keeps giving. Forgiving. And the reverse meaning of strength in this book by Rosemary Ellen Guiley, The Mystical Tarot. Lacking self-confidence, questioning your abilities. Am I up for this? Need to believe more in yourself. Don't look outside yourself for what exists within. It's time to silence your fears. So, yeah. That's good. So I'll just leave it there and leave it here and be here. So, yeah, I hope you're all well. I hope you're taking good care of yourselves, being love for yourself, your full, whole, true self. And yeah, I hope you're finding the strength that you need for your well-being and your integrity and what you're creating and inviting and becoming. And so, yeah, let me know how you guys are all doing and what's coming up for you. Yeah. Have you noticed any archetypes or any animals coming, any allies coming up to help? Yeah. Okay, talk to you soon. Be well. Love y'all.